Hello everyone, this is Ebby of the Demented Ferrets. This will be a top 5 list of my personal favorite bosses from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. Please note that these are simply my opinions, and I do not speak for anyone else. This armor-plated monstrosity towers above Link as a child. When I first encountered this boss many years ago, I had little to no idea what to expect until I saw its eye. I knew its eye was the obvious weak point, but hitting it didn't seem to do anything until it climbed to the ceiling. Once I saw its eye turn red, however, it was then I knew when to hit the weak point. I generally prefer not to use consumable items unless absolutely necessary. Thank you, OCD. So aside from the slingshot, I didn't want to use anything other than what I needed to win at the time. The figure, pose, and design of this boss, along with the surrounding atmosphere, has made a lasting impression on many, if not all, who have played this game. The end of the second fire-themed temple of the game thrusts Link into battling the subterranean lava dragon itself. This boss was a lot of fun for me when I fought it for the first time, and every time since. I love dragons, and this one was especially fun, even if it was a glorified version of Whack-A-Mole. It was only after I had read the manga that it really tugged on the heartstrings, and I haven't been able to see an image of the poor dragon, let alone fight it, without hearing it call Link's name with its dying breath in my head ever since. While technically a mini-boss, Dark Link can prove more challenging to some than the proper bosses themselves. Personally, I've never really had too much trouble with Dark Link over the decades, even when playing for the first time. But now and again, I like to try different ways of defeating him using different weapons and item combinations. The concept is wonderful. Facing and overcoming your dark self is quite interesting, and I don't think I've run across one that actually mirrors your attacks to such a degree. By the time I encounter Dark Link, I usually have the Bigoron sword with me, so a simple forward thrust attack is enough to bypass his defenses and damage him. The boss of the Shadow Temple is my second favorite enemy design of the game. The Shadow Temple as a whole enraptured me when I was young, and when I got to the boss, I was not prepared for what I faced. I had no idea that arrows damaged him until after my first death. While my OCD tells me not to use items, you kinda have to in order to fight this boss, at least with the clunky controller I have. The tortured design of this creature simultaneously drew me in and repelled me when I first saw it. Since then, I've only grown to love this sickeningly beautiful design more. The nearly pitch-black atmosphere with only the illumination from the beast's eyes and blades were the only real signs of its location when I first did battle with this hulking creature. With the lightning only occasionally showing this black monster's features, it was rather difficult at the time to fight this boss back in the day, especially with the old TV we had back in the 1990s. Nowadays, it's much easier to see its features, but back then, I might as well have been fighting blindfolded. It was only after turning off all of the lights, which everyone else always left on for some reason, that I was able to see the screen well enough to fight. For days after I finally beat it for the first time, I replayed this boss again and again to test it out. I used to be good at this game before my dyspraxia took full effect, but I was once able to fight Ganon using only a bottle while wearing the iron boots for the added challenge. The good old days. Oh well. I don't remember if I tried the fishing rod against him or not. At any rate, the final boss of Ocarina of Time has embedded itself in my memory as not only a worthy adversary, but also as a visual icon, now that I can see him properly, thanks to improved technology. This boss will likely always be my favorite from Ocarina of Time for its design, brute force, hulking frame, and the ability to make children scream in terror. While you may not agree with this list, nor my reasons, if one can really call these reasons, these are merely my opinions. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games, and I hope this helps you to check the game out, if you haven't already. You can find my playthrough of Ocarina of Time on the Demented Ferrets YouTube channel, link below if you're watching this on YouTube, so feel free to watch me fail miserably with near constant interruptions by my 3 very needy cats. This has been Ebby of the Demented Ferrets, where stupidity is at its finest and level grinds are par for the course. Until next time. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to check out our Patreon page and consider subscribing. We'd all greatly appreciate it.